Of course, the most important part of any new press launch is the test drive, where journalists can get into these vehicles, take them out on the road, and see for themselves what they're really like to drive. Equipped with their trusty Mercedes road books containing the routes that Hank Chapman helped create, the journalists grab a BlueTEC diesel and hit their 3 different driving options. Route 1 is a short 19-mile village-to-village oval that's mainly easy driving 2-lane roads. Route 2 is a bit longer at 60 miles, taking the reporters through the picturesque Vermont countryside with a variety of lanes and speeds. While Route 3 offers 100 miles of the entire mix. The village driving of Route 1 combined with the same beauty of Route 2 and the challenge of taking the BlueTEC diesels through the Green Mountains.
Well, I mean, the thing is as solid as a tank, but it feels very light and agile.
And continue to follow the US7.
Partly because the suspension is very good, but also the engine gets this great rolling torque at every level.
The driving may be done for the day, but Mercedes, like all OEMs, has other activities to help educate everyone on the new vehicle, or in this case, the new engine. There's a lot of different elements that go into a new car press launch. One of the most important of those is the business meeting, where they gather all the journalists together to hold a press conference, so the executives can really put their spin on how they want to present this car to the media.
In just a few moments, Thomas Rule, our director of R-Class SUV Hybrid and BlueTEC, will explain how all of this was made possible. And of course,
it often involves the very people who designed, engineered, and developed these vehicles. And then when it's all over, they open it up to Q&A so the journalists can really jump into the topics that they want to learn about.
Do you have any plans to add diesels to smaller passenger cars in the U.S. market in the near future?
We're looking at that. We've obviously are back and forth with our development counterparts in Stuttgart on getting those advantages to our smaller platforms. We don't have a definitive date on that yet.
With most of the day's business complete, everyone has a chance to relax, socialize, and reflect on the event before heading to dinner.
When you actually go to the press event, it's really almost as much about the people as it is the hardware. You want to see the engineers, you want to talk to the marketing people, you want to try and figure out what they've got in mind. I mean, away from the hype, you know, the soul of the vehicle and the soul of the people that are behind it.
But if you're not at these events, at least on something of a regular basis, you're really writing based on, if you're lucky, maybe getting some people on the phone, but more often than not, just writing on what you're hearing and reading from what other people who are in the field are telling you.
Well, it is a time commitment, but it's a commitment that really immerses you in the vehicle, especially if you have to write about it later. It's all those little fine points that you don't get necessarily if you drive it for a couple hours or if you read some things, you know, talking to everybody, you uncover little things that you wouldn't otherwise.
I had a chat this afternoon with the guy who runs the entire SUV operation at Mercedes-Benz. Am I going to do that at home in my office? Not a chance.
But before you know it, the driving's all done and the interviews are wrapped up as well, leaving reporters to pack up, check out, and head back to their homes and offices scattered across the country as the Mercedes PR team makes certain that any and all requests are filled.
So we have a video team out shooting Joe right now. A couple of guys are doing it themselves. Greg's out doing some photography. So we have a couple of special requests we have to follow up on, get people some footage and different photos by the end of the week. But it's been really, really smooth. Everyone's really been getting what they want.
Well, I bet you've now got a much greater appreciation of the enormous effort that the car companies go through to put on a press launch. And you know, we've only shown you one of these things. I'd estimate that this year, in the United States alone, there's going to be about 50 new car press launches. The journalists who are here will barely have time to go write their stories, bang out their blogs, and produce their television shows before they have to go off to the next event. But one thing's for sure, if manufacturers were not getting the bang for the buck from these events, they'd fade away. But as Mercedes has showed us, it remains committed, especially for that journalist third-party endorsement.
So we know that of all the tools that we have in our box, PR is one of the ones that pays immediately and pays big. So it's an important part of our arsenal.
You have lots of last-minute things that come up. There are things that keep you awake at night, but usually the event, you can't wait to get out of bed in the morning, so it's a good thing.
I go to a lot of them. I've been going to a lot of them. I've been doing this for 41 years now. Nobody does it better.
I've really got to thank Mercedes-Benz for allowing us to get this behind-the-scenes look of a new car press launch. And as you all know, we always shoot a whole lot more at events like this than we can possibly show you on this show, and you can always catch a whole lot more at our website. And for all of us here at Autoline, thanks for watching. We'll see you next week.
Visit our website for even more great content all week long. Autoline Extra, Dawn's Journal, podcasts, and even more. So click over and get the inside view at AutolineDetroit.tv.